Hello, welcome back to the Johnny Boy Crypto Channel, the show where we bring you the latest and most important developments in the world of cryptocurrency. I'm your host, Johnny Boy Crypto. In today's episode, we'll be talking about the ongoing legal battle between Coinbase and the largest U.S. crypto exchange and the Securities Exchange Commission, also known as the SEC, the federal agency that regulates the securities markets. But before we get into that, quick disclaimer here, we are not financial advisors. Cryptocurrency is highly speculative. You can lose any and all of your money, finances, whatever. Seek your own financial advisor before making any decisions on if crypto is right for you guys. Very, very important. Make smart decisions, not from a guy like me off of YouTube. Don't take any of my advice, okay? But the only advice I want to give you is to subscribe, hit that notification bell, drop a comment down below. You're not going to want to miss this, so stay till the end because I want to hear your thoughts too on this, guys. So let's get into this. Today, the Coinbase and SEC dig in with the U.S. judge on whether securities law applies to listings, all right? The federal judge must now let's take the context here. The judge is going to weigh in on whether securities law applies to listings. Okay, so the federal judge must now weigh what a Coinbase lawyer characterized as a pure question of law, and her answer could have a big consequence on the crypto sector, guys. So a judge in the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York is now deciding whether or not to toss out the Securities and Exchange Commission's case against Coinbase. Okay, the ruling will hinge on whether the transactions in any of a dozen crypto tokens should be classified as unregistered securities. Okay, so as you may recall, the SEC sued Coinbase back in September of 2023. Okay, they were accusing them of violating securities laws by offering trading in dozens of digital tokens without registering them as securities. The SEC claims that these tokens are investment contracts, meaning that they involve an expectation of a profit from the efforts of others and therefore fall under the SEC jurisdiction. But of course, Coinbase, on the other hand, has, is fighting against this for sure. They're sticking up for all of us, guys. This is important that we follow this story. Okay, the case delves into a ton of complexity, but before anything else, the judge has to decide whether transactions in about a dozen tokens traded on the U.S. exchange were securities. Okay, both sides, the SEC and Coinbase, agreed in a Wednesday court. They both agreed in a Wednesday court hearing that the tokens themselves are not securities. They both agreed this. The SEC lawyers argued that each trade amounted to an investor buying into a token ecosystem in which the purchaser is hoping to share in its gains. And as long as a single one of those transactions could be considered an investment contract, Coinbase has broken securities laws. But the company said these are secondary market trades in which no contract is in place, so they cannot be securities. Coinbase is seeking to talk to Judge Catherine Polk-Faya of the U.S. District Court of the Southern District of New York into throwing out the SEC's accusations that it's breaking the law. Faya decided against making a decision from the bench and didn't explicitly reveal which way she will rule, as she went through 14 pages of questions that challenged the positions of both the regulator and the business over more than 4 hours. So, the case is now in the hands of Judge Catherine Polk-Faya, guys, of the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. So, the outcome of this case could also affect other crypto platforms. Let's not forget that. It could affect, Binance and Kraken and you name it, and the investors. So you guys are involved too here. Okay, if you own cryptocurrency, this is going to affect all of us, and that's a good thing that the judge did not give her opinion on which way she's leaning. Her eventual decision, expected in the coming weeks, though she didn't hint at a timeline, will join a mixed bag of other recent rulings from her fellow judges in the same court. It'll either reinforce the SEC's pursuit of crypto platforms as unregistered exchanges dealing in unregistered securities, or it'll add to the agency's legal losses on this front and further strengthen the industries that the regulator is overreaching. Either way, similar SEC cases against such exchanges as Binance and Kraken could also turn on Judge Fea's view. So it says in quote, "It's the same computer code no matter which one of us has it," said Patrick Costello, a lawyer with the SEC, arguing that the purchaser is getting a contract however they obtain the digital asset. The token is the key that gets you into the ecosystem. The token is worthless without the ecosystem. William Savitt, an attorney with Hatchell, Lipton, Rosen, and Katz representing Coinbase, contended that an investment contract, a security defined by the so-called Howey test, actually requires a contractual obligation to be in place between the token issuer and the buyer. There has to be a statement that is meant to convey an enforceable promise, Savitt said. If you don't have that, then you don't have a contract. I agree with this statement, guys. I agree with this statement. He called this a pure question of law, and it is. The judge has to be careful. It says the judge is careful not to signal her view, just acknowledging at one point, this is a hard question. The judge has to think about this, has to pray on it, has to sleep on it, whichever way she goes. Costello also sought to counter warnings that the SEC's position could expand the definition of securities to collectibles such as art or trading cards, saying those assets are missing the central ecosystem. Okay, collectibles have their own value, he said. There's no way for somebody to make a baseball card more valuable. And Judge Fea addressed a couple key rulings on SEC crypto cases, including the agency's loss against Ripple and its win in the Terraform Labs action. She said Judge Jed Rakoff's finding in Terraform that crypto asset transactions were securities was not a shock to me, but that didn't involve the tokens being listed on a secondary exchange. Terraform is quite different from the facts of this case. So this clearly says right here that she has thought about this case here, and this case, Terraform, it was listed on Terraform. Coinbase is a secondary exchange, right? So it kind of seems like she's already leaning in favor of Coinbase in that one statement. But we'll go on. Fea also admitted some significant hesitation about invoking the nuclear option of the so-called major questions doctrine that Coinbase contends should head off the SEC's actions until Congress has had a chance to establish crypto laws. Exactly. So, excuse me, I'm keeping it raw and real with you guys, okay? I'm not going to mute my coughs or anything like that. We're just going to keep it raw. So, the judge is stating right here, like, how do you expect me to do my job if you don't have clear regulations? Bring me some clear regulations so I can be the judge if they broke the law. You guys don't have a law, I can't do my job. That's what she's saying. So crypto insiders embrace the judge's seeming skepticism of some of the agency's views at the hearing. And of course, look at what the recent letter, the ETF approval letter by Gary Gensler, and he clearly did not want to approve the ETFs, but he felt, it made it look like his hands were tied. It was supposed to be a good thing for crypto, but then he turned it around and tried, it was like he was making it a bad thing. And it also kind of left it open for like an I told you so moment in case crypto crashes. He could say, well, I told you so. But this entire hearing has been very skeptical of the SEC claims. Justin Slaughter, the policy director at Paradigm, posted on X. This is a fairly extreme case of a regulator wanting to have its cake and eat it too. Dave Rodman, founder and managing partner at Rodman Law Group, told CoinDesk, after all, the SEC deemed Coinbase is sound enough to list on a U.S. stock exchange, and it appears that it is backpedaling. Okay, so why did they? allow Coinbase to have a listing on the stock market, but now they're going after them. They want some. Is it about money, guys? Does somebody feel like they didn't get paid enough behind closed doors? Dude, you should have gave me more money. I'm kind of upset, so we're gonna have to give you a hard time now. We're gonna have to take you to court because I want a couple $100 million. Is that what this is about? That, look, it's just a speculation, you know, conspiracy theories. I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but the question, I'm putting the question out there. Okay, that's all I'm doing. It's just a question. I'm not accusing. So let's go on. I guess that's the end of the article, guys. So what we'll do is we'll keep you updated on this story as it unfolds, but in the meantime, let us know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with the SEC or Coinbase? Okay, which side are you taking? How do you think the judge will rule? And what do you think this case means for the crypto industry? I'm going to tell you right now what I think the judge is going to rule, and I'm wrong quite a bit. I'm only human, but based on a couple of the statements that the judge has made, one, this isn't the Terraform case, so she's already hinting around like this is different because, you know, this is a secondary exchange, so that there's no merit to that whole, you know, that argument. And then two, the how can I do my job if there's no clear regulation? That's the second question. Okay, so instead of making a decision that could ruin investors' lives, that could you know, rule whatever, I think what's going to happen is it's going to get thrown out. That's my thoughts on this. I'm thinking if I was the judge, I would just throw it out. But hey, this ain't financial advice, guys. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm just a YouTuber. This is my own 2 cents. Thank you for watching. That's all for today's episode. Like I said before, make sure you subscribe, like, and share. And thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget, we'll see you in the next video. I make more videos, trying to do it on a daily basis. And that's all we have. Well, until next time, see you in the next video.